Mo Keegan's son says ex-Hollywood mogul who lost $5 million in one day of gambling has no right to jury trial. New London. The Mo Keegan's son casino is arguing that Ronald M. Meyer has no right to a jury trial in its lawsuit to collect almost $2.8 million it claims the former president of Universal Studios still owes from a gambling binge on October 13, 2017. But lawyers for Meyer, 80, who stepped down as vice chairman of NBC Universal in 2020 after a settlement with a woman with whom he had an affair, according to the Associated Press, maintain he has a right to a jury trial like almost anyone sued for money in Connecticut courts. The controversy has played out over the last 3 weeks in court papers filed by lawyers for Meyer and the Mohegan Tribal Gaming Authority in State Superior Court in New London. While much of the argument involves legal intricacies, the two sides have allowed themselves some passionate responses. In an August 22nd filing insisting on Meyer's right to a jury trial, lawyers Brian E. Spears and Leslie A. Cahill condemned the Tribal Gaming Authority for preying on Meyer, whom they say was known to the authority as a problem gambler with extensive gambling debts. The lawyers go on to say that the authority induced Meyer to incur an additional $5 million gambling debt at the Mohegan Sun, at virtually no cost to the plaintiff, outside of the expense of the helicopter it used to lure him to the casino. Despite having recovered more than $2 million of that debt, the lawyers continue, the authority now seeks to avail itself of the Connecticut judicial system to complete its exploitation of Mr. Meyer while simultaneously denying him the protections of Connecticut law. This effort is plainly foreclosed by controlling legal precedent and should be denied, they write. In his August 27th reply, lawyer Andrew S. Holding, a former television investigative reporter who represents the authority, says pointedly that Meyer gambled at the Mohegan Sun Casino in 2016 and 2017 when he was the vice chairman of NBC Universal Studios with a multi-million-dollar annual compensation package. Meyer now claims that he was exploited when he lost money gambling at Mohegan Sun in October 2017, Holding adds later. Of course, he had no complaint when he won more than $1 million some months earlier. He adds that Meyer had a choice not to apply for credit at Mohegan Sun. He was not forced to come to Mohegan and gamble, and he was represented by very prominent Las Vegas, Nevada legal counsel in the negotiation of the installment payment agreement that he signed, and which provides for the application of Mohegan law. The provision about applying Mohegan law is a central issue in the jury trial dispute. Holding wrote in an earlier filing, the laws of the Mohegan tribe do not provide for jury trials of any civil claim, and the Mohegan tribe is not subject to either the United States or the Connecticut constitutional provisions for jury trials. The tribe's constitution requires compliance with the Indian Civil Rights Act, which provides for jury trials only in criminal cases. But Meyer's lawyers argue that choice of law provisions, like the one in the installment payment agreement Meyer signed in 2018 after bouncing the multiple million-dollar checks, or markers he had posted as security for $5 million in gambling loans, do not govern procedural issues like jury trial rights. To buttress his claim that Meyer has no right to a jury trial, Holding replies, in turn, that the jury trial is an affirmative right in Connecticut. He quotes a 2004 state Supreme Court decision describing it as fundamental in our judicial system. A judge will presumably have to sort all this out by April 7th, the date set for selecting jury in the case, according to online court records. The game or games Meyer played at Mohegan Sun when he ran up the gambling debt are not specified in the lawsuit.
There's people who sued McDonald's, right, and got those labels, caution, coffee, hot, liquid is hot, put on the cup of coffee. They spilled it on their lap, burnt the pluck up out of themselves, and sued and actually won money. Hell, who knows if someone even went further with it, like, yo, I spilled coffee on my lap and, pain and suffering, and I wasn't able to have kids after that. More pain and suffering, and it ruined my whole life. Like, I know that sounds a bit of a stretch, a bit ludicrous, but you can sue someone or a corporation or a group for anything. It doesn't mean you're gonna win. It doesn't mean the lawsuit's gonna get thrown out right away off top. But literally speaking, you can file the lawsuit, and sometimes some things happen, sometimes they don't. Some people are looked at as con artists, slip and fall artists, sleazeballs. Some people are like, hey, that's an innovative intelligence person standing up for their right. And this guy Ronald M. Meyer. Sounds like he was heavy in the ranks within the entertainment world. Chairman of NBC Universal at one point in time, president of Universal Studios, been in the entertainment world for many and many years, 80 years old, but was forced to step down with some kind of situation coming out that reminds me a bit of what initially started the Vince McMahon situation. Not exactly, but got the ball rolling a bit before it snowballed. If you guys remember, WWE became a public traded company. And when it's not all your money, it's a public traded company, you can get in big trouble for paying someone some hush money. I mean, you can get in trouble for it all the time, but especially when it's not all your money anymore, you can get in big trouble. And then obviously we know now, later on, after just the big article came out about the leak of the hush money, then next thing you know, it was, trafficking and actual assault and all this other ish to a former employee that, tarnished Vince McMahon's name and changed his whole situation. He power played his way back into the lead at one point in time, but it didn't last. But it seems kind of similar with this guy. He had to pay some money out for an affair that he was having, and someone was shaking him down over this recently, and he's just totally out the game, out the frame, pause, as a individual with status in the entertainment world anymore. But he's had a long career, said to be one of the biggest craps players ever. And as you heard, he's won millions, right? But he's also lost millions. And he was $5 million in debt from this binge dating back to 2016 to 17. And apparently the Mohegan Gaming got like over 2 million of this debt, but they didn't get it all before he was able to figure out a way to get out of the payment plan. And now his attorneys, that's what helped him out a lot in this. This guy has some high-powered attorneys, right? He might not really have money like that anymore, as he's known as a disgraced former powerhouse in the industry. Now he doesn't have that salary and lost a ton of money. But his attorneys in the Mohegan Gaming Commission or Tribal Commission are arguing over all this stuff. He deserves a jury trial, stating that the gaming company preyed on him as a sick guy addicted to gambling. Poor him, to them saying, hey, this is tribal law. We don't have to go by Connecticut law. He doesn't have the right to a jury trial. Oh, yes, he does. He's a citizen. Everyone has a right. Like, there's a big battle going on right now that's going to go in the legal books that could set the stage for legal precedents to change in regarding gaming. Do you think that there's a way that he could have a win, or Mohegan could have to settle with him in some way where neither side fully wins, but something goes down in the law books to change this all? Or do you think that that's ludicrous, that no matter how the gaming casino industry works, even though in a lot of ways it can be like legal loan sharking, predatory loans, and all this organized crime like tactics, but done in a way that's within the legal bounds? Even though all that may true, do you believe that that's just the way it goes and he fucked up, he's the one that made these mistakes and he should have to pay? Or do you think he could quite possibly win and you want to see him win? Or are you just intrigued to see what's going to happen next? Or do you think he's just moronic? Or do you think he's a guy that had his way a lot of the times because he had a high-powered position within the employment world and the entertainment world, and now he don't have anything, and he's like, man, I'm not about to take an L and roll over just like a regular person? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. As you see in these suits, even the chopper that one of the places had a prices quoted within the legal books in regards to this lawsuit. You know, the court of law, whether it's a civil matter like this one or criminal court, it can be interesting to follow the story and see what happens, especially when something is, again, has legal precedence and is history making. But I don't know. I don't know quite what to think about this one. It's kind of wild to see someone just saying, hey, I'm not paying you. And not only am I not paying you, this is wrong. I'm suing you. In some ways, it's kind of similar but different. If someone said, hey, I'm going to sue my D-Rug dealer, obviously different in the way that that's not a legal thing that you can make money on the books, and who knows in the future if we could see that be a thing. Obviously, we know there's legal weed business, but that's all government regulated and they run it all. And a lot of individuals are tapped in with the government who do that. And we know the CIA sold a lot of yayo, even though they claim it was just a few cowboys wilding out doing their own thing. But I'm saying it's essentially similar in the sense that most people feel like, yo, man, you're getting high. You fucked up. The drug game may be a dirty thing, but put the D-Rugs down. That a lot of people might look at it that way, like, you dumb, broke bastard. You gambled and pissed all your money away. Now you want to sue them? You knew the rules before you got in this mess, but now you want to see if you can change them. I don't know. I just found this to be a bit perplexing and intriguing. What say you? Tap in, comment about it all. Let's just discuss it. If you're new to the channel, this is Jay Coffee Talk, where we talk it up on sports, music, news, current events, all different kind of topics. So subscribe, hit that comment section. Let's talk it up. Stay tuned for updates as well. I look forward to coffee talking it up with you guys. I'm out of here. Peace.